Welcome back. So, in our Selenium with Python series, today we are going to see how we can handle the Excel sheet by using Python. Okay, so far we have seen like how to create a page object model and then few of the element locators and how to get the data from the a py file. So let's say that if you have variables and values into a py file, then we know how to get those details, right? But there are instances where you need kind of multiple instances of the test data, and which is not kind of a feasible solution to keep the multiple data into an what do you call py file or into a notepad or something, right? So that's where actually JSON file, or else if you have an XML or Excel sheet, so these are the what do you call preferable test data sources. Okay, so that we can fetch the data, and based on the multiple test data we can iterate and perform the action. So that is where actually Excel sheet usage is coming into the picture. Okay, so now the question comes, how do we handle the Excel sheet data by using Python? So Python don't have anything like out of box what do you call feature handling, like or to read or write the test data. So that's why we need to use a library, a Python library. So that is called as openpyxl. Okay. So let's first install that. So at this moment, that particular file, what do you call package is not installed into my this project folder. If I go to this live, you can see if I traverse through down, you can see there is no openpyxl is installed in here. So what I will be going to do here, I am on virtual environment. Okay, so I will say like this, so pip install and then openpyxl. Okay, and it is installed. Just ignore this particular what you call warning, it's just saying that I need to upgrade the pip. But yeah, so once I have installed this one, I should be able to see the openpyxl. Let's see that. You can see the details openpyxl. Okay, so now this openpyxl I need to import, like as we were importing import time or import selenium, the same thing we need to do that. So for this, what I will do, let me create a new package, and maybe I can just say miscellaneous. Just for our understanding, I'm just keeping this one, and under this I will create a file. Maybe I can just say excel reader.py. Okay, so here let me just add to this git. Fine. Okay, so now the first thing, as I told, I need to do openpyxl. So then all the features of this openpyxl will be coming into the picture, so I can basically use those things. Fine. What is okay? Sorry, it's just saying that I'm not using this one, so that's why the error is coming. But yeah, we will be using this particular package in a moment. So if I go to this, now let's first try to understand what are the operations we can do with respect to an Excel sheet. So where basically for automation testing, we can just fetch the data, like some multiple, as I told that Excel sheet is basically used to handle multiple test data, right? So let's say that if you have username and password combinations, where I can say type is valid, invalid, and then different username and password combinations I can give here. Okay, so I can fetch one particular cell data, like maybe first row first column means username, first row and the second column is basically the password. So all these informations I can fetch it. Now there are situations where I need to fetch the entire test data of this particular sheet. Okay, so I can have multiple sheets, right? So depending on the sheet name, I need to go to that particular sheet and then get the data. So we can fetch single test data, multiple rows from a specific sheet, number of rows, number of columns. So all these are the features that we need in our what you call day in day out Excel sheet automation. There are instances where you have some requirement actually to say, to write some test data or to write something into the Excel sheet. Okay, in that scenario also we can the same concept. Either we can write a test data to a particular cell, or else we can have multiple cell data we can write into the Excel sheet and then save that. So that is basically the operations. Now let's say that if I will be talking about the steps, actually manual additional steps. Like if I tell you, like there is a test underscore data dot xlsx file is there under this specified location, please navigate to that, find the sheet 1. So what you will do, basically we will be going to that particular directory and open that excel sheet, and then click on the specific, or open this sheet. Actually at this moment there is only one, but think about if I have multiple sheets, then you need to click on the required sheet, and then you have to fetch the details. So basically depending on the rows and columns, you will get the data. Now this same process we need to automate actually by using the openpyxl. Fine. Okay, so now let's see what are the syntaxes actually the openpyxl is giving us. Now even you can search in the online openpyxl usages, and you will get the documentation itself. Okay, but let's try to see the what do you call, the steps that I have mentioned into the coding. Okay, so what I will do, first thing I will take a variable or an object, and where I will use this openpyxl, you can see here. Now if I put dot, actually I will have some kind of method that is load workbook actually. Like as I told, manual ways we need to go to a particular directory and then get that excel sheet, right? So the same thing we are trying to automate here. Now here it is asking the path of that file, so file name actually. So path name, basically it is on my what you call project folder. So you can see the testdata.xlsx is here. So I can use like this because I'm using Mac, so I'm just using like this, and underscore testdata.xlsx actually. Okay, so like this I will be loading. So whenever I'm loading this workbook object is assigning to this particular object or variable, whatever you say. Now I am, what the next step is that I need to go to the required sheet actually. Now my required sheet, I will be using the workbook object, and then I will be assigning the name of that. Now at this moment the name is sheet 1 actually. You can see it is a sheet 1. Fine. Now I got into the sheet. So these are the two lines of code actually to go into the particular sheet. Okay, fine. Now now let's say that I want to get this username value actually. Now this is where, this is actually the first row and first column data, right? So can I do like this? So I will just do a print statement, and I will say sh dot, there is a cell actually method is there, and if I do like this, it is basically asking the row number and the column number. So can I say like this, dot value? So this sheet, I mean sh dot cell, is basically giving you the cell instance. Cell instance means this particular cell, not exactly the value actually. Like if I go like this, let's not call this value property, and do like this, and let me go to this terminal. Maybe directly I can go to this miscellaneous and open in terminal, and here I will run this Python file. See, I'm not using any kind of unit testing what you call library or anything. This is simple pure py file only. So I can say like this, and then I will say excel reader.py. Let's see what is the error here it is giving. Okay, so it means that it is not taking from the project folder. Let's do one thing actually. Why can't I do like this and then click on option so that I can get the entire path name, and then I will do the complete path name, and then I will run the same code, and as you can see it is giving the username. That's from the first row and first column actually. Like as I was talking, if I don't give this value, now let's see what it is. So it's basically giving the cell reference actually. So from cell, I mean sheet 1, and A1 is the what do you call that particular cell. So instead of this, let me just put this as value. So value is basically the property which will get the exact value. Like instead of this I can even say like this, sh, so not sh, a1 is that, right? So a1 is basically the first row and first column. A is the column header, 1 is the row name, right? That is the default excel sheet names. So here what I can do, I can even do like this. So sh, not this, sh of means that particular sheet, and then in single quote I will say sh a1 dot value. Let's see if this is giving me the right answer or not. You can see even I can do like this also, but which is not a feasible solution, because normally we don't know that what is that A, B, C, D and all those things. So, but there is an option actually, we can get that also. Even what you can do, if you want to get the first column values, I mean the setup values. So what we can do like this actually. So print, basically what I can do, for I can even loop it also. So let's see like this, for cell in sh of a, actually I can even say only a means that is the entire first row column, I mean first column actually. And now here I will say cell dot value. Okay, let's first print it, then I will let you then only you will understand that completely what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so let me run the same code. You can see it's giving me the first column values because it is the list of values, right? So I cannot print directly like sh of a. I need to loop it actually, so that each instances of this sh a will be assigned to cell, and then I can get by using sh cell dot value. So this is one of the way you can fetch the details. So either you can give the row number and column number, so that it will be giving, and then you can use the column headers and row names, the excel sheets default actually. Or else even you can do like this also. Actually there are multiple ways, we will see that one by one. Okay, so now let's first, so these are actually where you can see single cell value actually. Okay, so I will say fetch single cell value. Okay, now from here onwards actually multiple rows. Okay, fetch multiple rows, this is what we will be seeing one by one. Okay, so this is one of the way. Now let's first try to understand actually if so this is basically a particular column actually, if you want to get it. But we can even use the index also. Index means there are some features in the openpyxl where you can get the number of rows of data it is present. Like for an example, let me just comment it. I will be keep on commenting these things so that we won't get the repeated data actually while printing. So even I can do like this. Now if I say like this, sh means it is that particular cell which we were what you call assigned actually. So from this cell only whatever data is coming for us. Now here I can say like this, sh dot max underscore row actually. Now this will give me the number of rows that has data, number of rows that has data. Now the same thing I can use another method or another what you call property, basically max underscore column actually. Now this will give me the number of columns actually that has data. Now let's see like this, number of columns actually, number of columns. Now let's first print this two actually one by one. Okay, you can see there are three rows and three columns. Means three rows are there because max underscore row is fetching as three, and then columns means see basically it is like what you call symmetric data, right? So each row it is having three. I think it will take maximum number of the columns. We'll do one thing actually. For an instance, let's put something actually here. QAB box. I'm just saving this one, and then let's try to run the same thing. Okay, you can see it is taking the maximum number of row columns that has data actually. Okay, basically it is considering symmetric, even though there is no data is there, this is considered as the number of columns actually. Okay, so that is how you can get the max row and max column data. Fine. Okay. Now let's utilize this max row to fetch multiple rows of data. So for this, what I will do a use a for loop, and I will say I, because I'm saying I will take it as a index wise now in this way. So for I in, we have something called as a range, right? In the for loop, we have seen that already. Now always I'm starting that as one actually, because this Excel sheet data always starts from what do you call one only. Now one till what actually, till sh dot max row, right? Max row means how many rows I have data, I have to only take that only. Now if you see this range sh dot max row, now I don't want to take it till 2 only, because if this is 3, then on the second loop only this for loop will be end actually. That is why I have to make it as 1 actually, plus 1. Okay, it is like this actually, like, to just make you guys understand, if I say like this in, and I will say range, and if I say 1 to 4, now this will basically print what it will print, 1 2 3 only it will print. It won't go to this 4 actually, because it is exceeding the maximum actually. So that is why I want to go till 4. If I want to go till 4, then I need to make it as plus 1. That is the concept of a for loop actually, a range actually, wherever I'm using. So that's why I'm making it as a for. Okay, now in this case what I'm getting here, basically for I range, so I'm basically traversing through number of rows actually. Now once I'm getting the number of rows, then the next thing is that each row I want to fetch the cell data. Okay, so for this I need to create another what you call for loop, and this time I'm taking the cell of what actually, each row means I will be writing like this, sh of I. So sh of I, when I'm writing, it means that I is the index, and then it is basically the number of rows. So first time it will go 1, because I'm starting the range from 1 2 3, like that it will go. So this always refers to the row instance actually. Now in each row I will be getting the cells, because when I'm taking the row is nothing but a list of cell data, right? So that's why I'm looping it as a cell. Now here I will say print cell dot value. Okay, now this will give me the entire test data. Now let's just, what do you call, comment this one and then run this code. Now you can see it is giving me all these details, abc 1 2 3 valid, then none because I have added a qab box extra, right? Like if you see this one, fine. So here I'm taking it as index wise, that's why I'm printing this 1 and then plus 1. There is even another way, like I can say another way of fetching the details. So openpyxl is giving us another method actually. Now that method where I don't want index wise actually, for some reason, let's say you don't want to use the index wise. Now there is something called as iter underscore or iter underscore rows, and here you will be giving the rows and columns actually, or it is kind of again range actually, like till what range, till what number of rows you want to iterate actually. So that's where actually I need to give the same thing, sh dot, I will say max row. Oops, what happened? I think I removed. Okay, max underscore row. Now in this case, I'm not going to make it as plus one, because I said whenever I'm using the range method, then only I need to put plus one. Now this sh dot max row always considers till the end of the row. Now in this case, the same concept for cell in what actually. Now in this case I don't have any index actually. What I have this row. So this is basically referring to all the rows that has data. In that I'm taking a single row. So first loop is basically referencing to a single row in that loop. Now once that row I am fetching, I will be fetching the cells of that row. So can I say like this, in row, and then I will say print cell value. Simple actually. Just always try to understand the what it is returning, what this right side of this for loop is returning, and based on that you can, what do you call, write your logic actually. Now it will print the same thing. Let me just show you that, and let me just comment again this entire thing. Okay, now let's print this one. You will get the same data only. There is no difference. Okay, fine. Now here we are getting from starting from the row 1 till the number of rows actually we are taking the data. Fine. Okay. So now, okay. So in this way actually we could able to take all the multiple rows of data. Now if you see, these are just the raw data actually. I mean, we are not taking anything. But let's think about, if I'm talking about utilizing this data and then comparing against something, or else let's say that you want to get the data, I mean the test data, into your Selenium test cases actually. So how will you take actually? I cannot print it actually, right? Because I mean printing will not make any sense in the validation actually. You have to take those values into some variable or some tuple actually. Tuple means list of data, list of variables or something actually, some kind of data, so that I can iterate in my code and then compare against the application. So there are multiple ways of I can get the data. Now in this sense, if I open this Excel sheet, now if I'm taking a particular column, now if I'm taking this column, what kind of data I'm getting? It's basically list of data I'm getting. Now let's think about a particular row now. If it is a particular column, I'm getting the list of data. If I'm taking a particular row, then I'm getting list of data. But what happens when I'm taking the entire Excel sheet actually, where it is multi-dimensional actually? Okay, in that case, this is where actually we can use the Python tuple concept. Now, tuple means it is like this. So I can show you one example actually. So let's see like this. Okay, so here I have three sets of data. Now three sets of data means I can say like this: a b c, and then comma, I can say d e f. I can have like this 1 2 3. I can have something here, and I can have even like this. Okay, so I can have any kind of data like this. Now these are nothing but this is basically a tuple actually. So inside this is a list of data, but when I'm taking multiple list actually, then that becomes my tuple actually. And this is just a two, what you call two number of data I'm taken, but I can have multiple data actually. There is no restriction of how many data each row. Now this is if I'm referring to an Excel sheet, what I can say. Now this is my first row data, this is my second row data, this is my third row data. Now can I relate this one as a tuple? So that is what we are going to do. It means that we will see a way to fetch the Excel sheet data as tuple actually. That is what we are going to see. Okay, fine. Now for this actually it is bit tricky actually. Let me try to make you guys understand properly. So for this what I will do, I will first the same. I am taking the same for loop concept, but assigning the values into a variable makes the magic actually here. Okay, so for row, okay, in what actually I can use the iter rows, right? Iter underscore rows actually. Even I can leave as it is also. I'm not going to give any range. Let's see what happens here. Okay, now here what I'm taking for cell in what in each row, right? In each row. Now this is what we were using before actually. Now for this at this time what I will do, I will take one variable actually here. So I will say seats underscore cells equal to, it's a array actually, it's a array of data or list of data. Let's think about that. It's a blank list I'm taking first. Now what this particular variable or will do that, it will capture all the cells of that particular sheet actually. Think about that. Now in this case what I will do, now whatever the rows I'm getting, I need to keep it somewhere, right? So I will do like this. I will create one variable. It's an internal variable actually. Okay, here each time I'm taking a row data. Now whatever row data I'm getting, I will be assigning to this one. Right, now let's keep that this actually here. Now in this for loop what I will be doing, this row, whatever this row cells I'm creating here, now this will hold, okay, dot append. Now this is basically I'm taking each cell into this row actually. That is what only I'm doing. Now here what I will do, cell dot value. So instead of printing, what I'm doing, this cell means this first loop of row. So first loop means which row it will come. Let's think about it, is the first row it will come. Now that row I'm taking all the cell data and putting into this particular internal list actually, where I'm using an append actually. So if there are three columns of the first row, all the data will come into this row cells. Fine. Now once I will be doing this one, now this is basically the first set of data for me. Now this first set of data, what I need to do, I need to again put it like this, right? So each loop I need to capture the cells of that row and then put it into the cells Each row wise I will be capturing and then appending to this sheet cells. Now what I will do, not in this for loop actually. Once I will come out of this particular for loop, I will be going to the here actually, and then I will say seed cells dot append. Now in this case, if I say like this, now it is basically the same concept only. I'm just taking this row cells into this seed cells only, but I want to convert this as a tuple actually. So it means that what I can do, this particular row whatever I'm getting, right, I will make it as a tuple actually. I'm just casting actually this one, that's it. Okay, so instead of a normal appending actually this internal rows, I'm just making it as a tuple and then appending to this. It means that this particular line of code will capture all the cells of a particular row, but this sheet will capture all the rows. As simple as that. Now if I print this one, now let me come out of the entire for loop actually. Now here let me come out of this, and then if I print here, if I print like this here, seed cells, I will get the entire data. Fine. Okay. Okay, so let's try to run this code and see what this sheet cells is basically returning. Okay, so let me just run the same code, and you can see, like as I was telling, let me do one thing, close this one. You can see this is my first row data, this is the first row, this is the second row, this is my third row. Okay, now so now the tuple I have got it actually. Now the second thing is that I need to read this tuple as per my need actually. So now think about this, now a Selenium scenario where I want to fetch all the usernames and all the passwords actually from the Excel sheet. So here, let me do one thing actually. First, let me just remove this one and save it. Okay, so here I will do a for loop because it is list of tuples, right? So I will be making it as for loop actually. And in this case, I'm taking it as a index wise. That will be easy for me. So there are two columns, three columns of data, right? Username column, password column, and then the type column. So I will do like this. So for I in, I will say range, and inside this I'm taking it from 1, and then I will make it as length of that actually, length of this tuple. See, in this case now I can't do any kind of max rows because I am dealing with the seed cells, which is not an Excel object but a list of tuple. So the normal Python list only. So that's why I am using seed cells. Okay, now in this case, and then now in this case actually it is 1 I'm taking. It has to come from 0, but I'm taking it as 1. Let's see the username is printing or not in this case. So here what I will do, keep observing what I'm doing here. Now this is basically each row actually, each row of this tuple. Means when I'm saying for the first time what is the index, 1 actually. 1 means it will take the first row, seed cells. Now, basically, it is a tuple, right? So, always the index starts from 0. If it is an Excel sheet, then only it will start from 1. Because this is an tuple, it is starting from 0 actually. So, that's why I'm taking the range as 1, means it will skip this username, password, what do you call? Tuple actually. The first tuple it will be ignoring actually. Let's see that whether it is ignoring or not. Now, when I print this seed cells of I, this will basically print these things actually. Okay, so just to make this, I'm not going to print now this time this, or maybe let's print this one and then try to print this one actually. So let me run this. Now you can see this is my the entire tuple, list of tuple. Now once I'm doing a for loop, I'm getting the individual rows. That's what we are doing. Okay, now let's say that I want to get only the usernames of that particular Excel sheet. So what I can do now, username is in which index actually from this particular tuple. If I want to read the first index, means I can do like this, 0, as simple as that. Now let's see what it is printing. You can see it is taking the first column actually. First column means this one actually, tuple's first index. Okay, now by taking these details I can play with the data and use it in my Selenium. Now this is what the formatting it will come. Oops, there is something. What is that? int to string. Oh, basically what is happening, this particular column is integer it is taking, and I cannot concatenate. So for this actually I will be taking it as a string str. I'm just concatenating that. You can see this is my entire tuple which I fetched. So basically by in Selenium you will be fetching this tuple directly, list of tuples, and then based on these indexes you can just fetch these values and then play with these details. Like let's say that username you want to enter, then you can just do 0 and then loop it. So each loop you will be getting this one. There are several ways actually you can get the tuple value, but this is one of the simple way which we can understand irrespective of from which language background we are coming. This will be easy, but then you are free to add your own logic to fetch this tuple actually, list of tuples. So this is, I can just say like this, list of tuples. Fine. Okay, so this is the way. Okay, now so far we have seen different ways of what do you call reading the data from an Excel sheet, like be it a single cell value, be it a sheet, be it any specific row, all these things we can get it. Now there are instances where openpyxl you can use it and you can add some value into your Excel sheet, means write a specific data to an Excel sheet. Now how do we do that? Now for time being, let me just comment this one so that we can focus more into writing the data. Okay, so I will do like this and then here. Okay, now for writing, what we do again, if I have an Excel sheet, what I will do, write the test data, means I will be clicking on a new sheet. I can name whatever the name I want to give, and then I will be adding or writing some data and then save the Excel sheet. That is what we are doing, right? So the same thing, let's try to do that. And I will be using the same Excel sheet only to handle, but in this case what I will do, instead of the sheet one, because I have already test data is there, right? So I will be taking another sheet actually. Now to take another sheet, what I will do, I will be using this particular value actually. In this case, a new object I'm taking, sheet object. Now in this case, I will say, now whatever sheet I want to generate or I want to add actually, so what I will do here, I can do like this. So WB dot, there is one option actually, create underscore sheet. You can see that. Now in this case, I will be adding something actually. Now I will say data, any name I will be giving under this. Okay, and this I think I can even do a single or double quote, no, not a problem actually. Now in this case what I will do, sh1, basically I can do like this also. I'm creating that sheet and then directly assigning to the sheet 1, or else I can do like this as well, sh1 equal to, I will say wb, and then here like as usual we were taking, right? And here I will say that data. Fine. Now this is the way we can create a sheet and then make it active actually, so that any action that we are going to perform will be in this sheet only. Okay. Now how do we add a value actually? Simple thing. I will do sh1 dot cell. Let's say that I want to add some value to the first row, first column data, and I will say dot value. There is nothing actually, no value is there, but I want to assign it. So I will say like this, I will say like this, simple as that. Now to read this, what I will do, simple thing, I will say sh1 dot cell, and then I will say 1 comma 1, oops, 1 comma 1 dot value. Simple. If I want to fetch the value, I will just use this particular syntax. If I want to assign something, the same syntax, I will be just adding some value. Let's see if this works fine or not. Okay, you can see it is added that value and then fetched that value from that particular sheet. Now if you go to this Excel sheet, let me just close it and then reopen. Oh, you know what, we did not save it actually, that's why it is not coming. So wb dot save, so you can use actually this one. Now in this case it will be a method. Now you will see it is asking the file name. File name means which file name? So this is the file name actually, so you just give this one. Okay, and then if I say like this, then it will be executing that. Fine. Now let's go to this. Maybe I need, to close and then open it. Okay, you can see there is a new sheet added, and then let me just expand this one or zoom it. You can see on the first row, first column, QAB box is added. Fine. Now this is where actually you can specifically a particular cell you can add the data. The same thing you can even do in this way also. Let me just comment this one. You can even do like this. Let's say first row, first column, right? So I can do A1 dot value equal to, I will say capital QAB box. I can even do like this as well. Let's see if this works fine or not. Okay, you can see it is added the value and then fetched the value also. Now let's see if it is coming or not. Better always, while you are performing the Excel data, you have to kind of what you call close that particular Excel sheet. See here what it is doing, every time it is creating a new sheet actually, because I have mentioned here create sheet, right? So for the first time only you need to do a create sheet, and after that you need to kind of what you call comment it actually, that one, so that you need not to create every time actually. This one you can keep it into a particular method, and then that method you will not be calling when you add it. That time you will be just what you call adding those what you call fetching or taking that active sheet only. That is what it is doing. Okay, so now in this case actually we were taking what you call only the single data, right? Now in this case I will be handling to this data sheet only. Okay, now in this case let me just comment everything so that we can add multiple data in this sense. The same thing how we were converting the Excel sheet into a tuple, this time we will have our own tuple, and then we will be writing that tuple into the Excel sheet, the reverse way of whatever we have learned actually. Now let's first create a tuple. Now to do that, what I will do, I will copy. I have a ready-made tuple here, right? So why not I can use this one. So this one we were getting from the first sheet, right? This time we will copy this tuple, or we will write this tuple into the second sheet, that is the data sheet. Now I will create one. I will say test data equal to, I will be directly assigning. So this is my what you call fixed test data or a tuple. Now this one you can take from anywhere, like from your application. You can use the Selenium to fetch the details as a tuple, and then you will assign to a test data variable. Now in this case, what I will be doing, now this tuple is list of tuples, right? List of tuple means this is what a tuple actually. Now, when I'm having multiple tuples, it becomes a list, as simple as that. Now, to loop it, because see, I have to enter it one by one actually. Either I can use one by one, or else as a complete row wise, I can enter also. So, this means that I can put a for loop for row in data, or else I can say for individual data. Individual means individual set actually. Individual set, I can even do like this. It's a big long one, so I will say for item. I can say even like this, for item in test data. Okay, in test data, what I will be doing, this item means what, individually these things, this is one item, this is one item, and this is one item. Now in openpyxl we have one method actually, where I can directly append actually by using this. So you will get one append, and inside this I will say directly item. So depending on how many data are there in this item, it will directly go and append to your Excel sheet. That is what the beauty of append function in what do you call append function in Excel sheet actually. Now let's see that whether it is adding or not. So let me first make sure that Excel sheet is closed. Now I will say like this, and then yeah, basically it won't do anything, but let me open this Excel sheet actually. Now you can see sheet 1 which we added already, but data we didn't have data before. After we executed our code actually it is added here. Now in this case if I'm adding another one actually, like even here I can do like this. Let's create another test data 1, and here I will say maybe create one tuple here, and in this case I will say something actually, and this should be then QA validation. com, something I'm adding here. Fine. And this one, what I will do directly, I will say is append, and I will say test data 1. Fine. Okay. So like this also I can do that. Now in this case, what will happen? Existing whatever this data will add, then it will go directly to the next row, and then it will add the individual data. Now what I will do in this case, let me delete this one, or else it will repeat, right? So I will do one thing, and then let's run this code. Okay, it is done. Let me close and open this one. Now you can see here all the data added. Now that append function directly going to the next row, next empty row, and then it is adding the details. That is what the beauty of append method actually. So good. Fine. So that is the way you can write the test data or write any data into your Excel sheet. Okay, that's pretty much it for today's session. Hope this helps. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will be keep on adding some interesting topics into our channel. Thank you for watching.